about irrigation in the vineyard a little bit. We're here at my home vineyard, and if you focus in, I have a main line coming in from, and it has a shutoff valve, and that's coming from my valve. These branch over, they're held here by the wire. If you could focus in on this wire. The emitters are spaced about 18 inches on either side of the vine. The emitter is punched in, it's held by a clip onto the wire, and then the water will be dripping from this on either side of the vine, suspended above, and then these emitters that I've chosen are 4 liters per hour, which is the equivalent of a gallon. So this plant is getting 1 gallon on either side every hour that this runs. So these vines are young, so obviously I'm watering these a couple times a week because the roots are shallow, but I'm going to start to force these down deeper by running it for 6 to 12 hours of time. And then being drip, the water's delivered slowly. There is no loss through evaporation. I shouldn't say no loss, but there's about a 90% efficiency ratio with drip as opposed to surface watering. So this water will get down deep, deliver the correct amount to the vine. We at least want to deliver about 12 gallons every time we water this vine, at least, at a minimum. All right, thank you. Okay, today we've been talking about plant physiology, we've been talking about the structures of the vine. Now we're going to talk a little bit about turgor pressure. The water comes in through the roots, it moves through the xylem and the phloem, ends up here in the leaves, and then the material is transported back down to the roots. It's a continuous cycle in the plant. Well, grapes are oftentimes watered differently. You don't want to keep it completely moist because you can affect some sort of the berry quality. And so in grapes, a good way to, an additional resource for measuring moisture in the plant is turgor pressure. And so what we can do here is we have a pressure bomb unit. It has liquid nitrogen. It has a chamber that you pressurize and you fill with this liquid nitrogen, or this nitrogen, to increase the pressure. It's measured in bars, and those bars actually tell you a number that you can use to determine what deficit of water is in the plant. And so here on this plant, first of all, we have to do this turgor pressure between around as close to noon as possible. 10 and 2 is an acceptable time period. And so on this plant, we're looking for a leaf that's probably about the 5th mature leaf, a leaf that's in full sun, that's hitting it directly. And so what I'm going to do with this leaf that I've chosen is wrap the baggie around it. This will eliminate the chance for any moisture to get out. I'm going to cut the petiole near the base. Okay, so you have a bag, and then you have the petiole sticking out. And so I'm going to then insert this into the chamber lid, tighten the lid down, make sure the bag is wrapped around it, insert it in here. Okay, tighten it down. I'm going to use the viewfinder to look at the cut end of the petiole. As I start to pressurize this chamber, as soon as the moisture starts to exude back out the end of the petiole, I record how many bars of pressure are creating this moisture to move back against the gradient. And so the higher the bars, the more pressure is having to push that out. And so let's do this one and see what we get. Chamber starting to pressurize. We're up to 5 bars. We're up to 8 bars. 10 bars now. And we have exuding from the top of the petiole. If you want to take a look, you can see the liquid that's come off the top of the petiole bubbling back out, and so that happened at exactly 11 bars. Typically on grapes, if you get anything above 12 to 13 bars, you're probably going to want to water. Anything 7 to 8 is a well-watered, recently watered vine. And so we're kind of in between, but I know if I'm doing deficit watering that I could schedule watering within the next week or so, depending on the climatic factors. Thank you.